Welcome guys, my name is Heather Rodriguez. I'm a natural fertility specialist. My scopes are about fertility and natural lifestyle changes to help you support your body in preparation for pregnancy. Good morning. Hi Tiffany. Hey Adi. And today's fertility scope is going to be for, fertility herbs Q&A. I have some questions that we get pretty often that I'm going to cover, and then I'm also going to answer any questions you may have about fertility herbs or natural fertility in general. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to fertility herbs, it's one of the main tools that we go to help to have an effect on specific systems of the body. So fertility herbs can be used to help support an entire system, or they can help to support a specific action within the body. So fertility herbs are really, really amazing, but they have to be used in conjunction with a healthy fertility diet, using foundational health practices, and you also need to look at some other areas of your life, such as mind, body, keeping your stress levels down. So herbs are amazing, but they're not a magic pill. There's no such thing as a magic pill. And just a second, my lips are dry. So it's so funny. If I could show you my desk right now, it is pretty funny. My priorities are, I've got some essential oil blends I made, I've got lipstick, and I've got crystals. That's what's going on at my desk. Okay, so one of the first questions that we get is about DIM. And DIM is a supplement that we use pretty often to help people who need to help metabolize their estrogen better, need to help get rid of excess estrogen. And so some people are concerned, what if DIM takes too much estrogen away, or what if DIM makes my hormonal levels out of balance? So the thing with DIM is a compound that helps the body to metabolize bad estrogens, so the estrogens that you do not want circulating in your system. The way that natural therapies and supplements work is really amazing. It's a pretty smart system. It's not just a blind action across the board. So certain herbs will help to support increasing estrogen, while that same herb can help to decrease estrogen if that is what's needed for your body, because it's actually your body that's doing it. The herb is supporting your body in that function. So in the case of DIM, it's not going to do that. It's going to help get rid of the excess estrogens that you do not want circulating in your system, while it's going to keep the healthy estrogens and the estrogen levels that you need in your system. So it's really an amazing thing. So DIM is something you can take all month long. It's fantastic for estrogen metabolism. But I do have to warn you, some people do notice a difference in the smell of their urine. That's all I will say. It's just part of the metabolites coming out. All right. You've been warned. But it's an amazing supplement. DIM is for hormonal balance, helping to, let me just close my door, sorry. My husband just got home and he is loud. All right. Okay. When to test estrogen. You need to talk with the person who's going to be doing your testing, because there's certain times of the month they might want to test your estrogen. It depends on how you're testing it and what reasons you're testing it for. So you would want to ask the person that's going to be taking your test, if that's going to be a naturopath, an RE. If you're getting hormonal testing done for fertility, I would always suggest to go to an RE, a reproductive endocrinologist, or an endocrinologist in general, instead of your general practitioner. General practitioners can pull those tests for you, but I just feel like REs are going to be so much more up to date and in the know of what levels need to be, the tests that need to be done, because that's all they do. That's their entire focus. Any questions about DIM that you guys might have? Simple to take, something you just do every day. You don't have to worry about what part of your cycle. Discontinue use once you're pregnant. The other question that we recently got is, when is the best time to take evening primrose oil? So evening primrose oil is an interesting substance because it comes from a beautiful flower. You're welcome. It comes from a beautiful flower. And we use it to help increase cervical mucus and for producing and creating hormones within the body to supply the body with the nutrients, essential fatty acids it needs. So, but the thing with evening primrose oil is it also can be stimulating to the uterus. It can sometimes cause the uterus to contract, which can be good because people use this for helping to move labor along if labor is stalled. Is DIM good for cysts? DIM is going to be helpful for any situation. The question was, is DIM good for cysts? DIM is going to be helpful in any situation where the body needs assistance in reducing excess estrogens. So some signs of possible excess estrogen would be things growing in the body, any type of growth. That's kind of what estrogen does is it's a growing hormone. So anything that's growing, multiplying in the body, that should not be. So if there's extra tissue growing in the body, there's extra, basically, I'll leave it at that. Anything that is growing that should not be there can be affected by estrogen stimulating its growth. So if you're getting rid of the excess estrogens, which are caused from environmental factors such as fluorescent lighting, toxins, pesticides, etc., that would have an effect on it. My cycle has been 25, and I ovulate on day 11. Do you think I have a short luteal phase? Let's see, so 11, you ovulate on day 11, so you would not. Short luteal phase is going to be 12 days or less, so you'd have to, it seems like you would be okay, but if you're charting, is your progesterone level rising? You know, that's something to think about, but 12 days or less is considered generally a luteal phase. So if you're definitely ovulating on 11 and you know, like you have, you're using 2 factors, such as cervical mucus and temperature and OPK test, then 12 days or more is considered normal and adequate for that length of time. So evening primrose oil, okay, great. Yeah, so that would be, that should be adequate amount of time. 12 days or more is fine. The best time to take evening primrose oil is going to be from your period until you ovulate. The reason that you would discontinue it after ovulation is because it can stimulate the uterus to contract. I personally don't think it's a huge, it doesn't work like, oh, you can feel it. It's not like, oh my God, I took evening primrose oil and my uterus is contracting. It's not like that, but we like to be on the side of caution and to make sure that the uterus is relaxed and is ready and prepared for implantation to occur. So you would just continue evening primrose oil during the second part of your cycle, which is from ovulation until either pregnancy or period. So, so that's how you would use evening primrose oil. The next question, this one we get so often, is will the fertility cleanse help me to get my period back? So the fertility cleanse is a program that helps you to prepare before you become pregnant. It helps to cleanse the uterus, it helps to support the body in cleansing the blood, the liver, in its function of helping to get rid of excess hormones. So a lot of people have had amazing things happen on the fertility cleanse. And what's really funny is that people automatically assume the fertility cleanse is for getting your period back, is for getting pregnant, is for all these specific things, when it's really not. It's for preparing, it's for cleansing, and it's for preparing the body. But amazing things do happen once you do that. So the fertility cleanse is not specifically to get your period back. And it's not specifically to get you pregnant, it's for preparation. But if you read our 200 and I don't even know, let me see how many reviews we have now. 200 and something reviews on it. Amazing things do happen for people, but that is not its promise or its intention. 279 4 and 3/4 star reviews. So it's not designed for that. Some people do get their period back from doing the fertility cleanse because of possibly because of the circulation that's increased to the uterus and the reproductive system, because the liver is supported and functioning better. There's a lot of things that happen because of the cleanse to the reproductive system, to the hormonal system, that can then help. So just so you know, it's not designed for that. It has helped a lot of people. But if you are looking to get your period back, there's a couple things you can do. There's a video up on YouTube that I did that covers all of this, but you need to look at diet and nutritional deficiencies, as well as there are stimulating herbs you can use. But you also need to make sure is it menopause? There's a lot of other factors. A period missing is usually the tip of the iceberg. It's usually a sign of something that we need to look at. The body's calling you to look at something beneath that. Stress levels, things like that. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. Okay, and then the other question I have is, what is the difference from taking just plain Vitex or taking a fertility formula such as Fertilicare? So Vitex is an amazing, beautiful herb that comes from the Mediterranean. It's also called chaste tree berry, and it can be used to help support a lot of things to do with hormonal balance, increasing progesterone in the system, decreasing prolactin, helping support ovulation, lengthening the luteal phase. There's a lot of different things that Vitex helps support the body in doing. And then Fertilicare is an herbal program, a complete herbal program. This is it, phase 1 and phase 2. So the difference is going to be that Vitex is a very specific herb that you would use for specific reasons, whereas Fertilicare is going to be an overall program that's going to hit a lot more points because there's a lot of other herbs in it. The Fertilicare program focuses on phase 1 and phase 2, so the first half of your cycle and second half of your cycle. This is helpful to kind of retrain a cycle, to help the body to reset and to hit the points, the hormonal points, when it's supposed to be. So for instance, you know, in phase 1, we have Tribulus, Vitex, Donkoi, Ramiana, and Damiana. So there's Vitex in here, but there's also Tribulus, which is going to help support normal ovulation, as well as Donkoi and Ramiana, which are going to help with circulation and overall reproductive health. So they're different. And then phase 2 has other herbs that are going to focus on the second phase. So you can use you don't use these together. You use phase 1 during the first half of your cycle, and then you switch to phase 2. And if your question was, can I use Vitex while I'm using this? Yes, but go ahead and adjust the amount of Vitex you're using. But if you're taking this, you won't need to take Vitex in addition, because there already is Vitex in it. You're on cycle day 10. Is it too late? Is it too late for what? What you late for? To use Fertilica. Well, Fertilica is my entire brand. So you're talking about Fertilicare. No, you just start when you get it. You just start when you get it. And so if you happen to be in phase 2, just start whatever phase you're in of your cycle. From ovulation on is phase 2. From your period to ovulation is phase 1. So just start wherever you are. Unlike the cleanse. The cleanse is the one thing that's kind of strict when you start. Everything else, just start where you're at. What day of my cycle do I need to measure my progesterone level to find out whether it's low? You would need to talk to who's going to be doing your testing. Okay, perfect, thanks. Yeah, whoever's going to be doing your testing is going to be a way better person to ask that question, because I don't do blood tests or run them. I can't order them, and I'm an herbalist nutritionist. I can't order blood tests, unfortunately. But whoever you're working with can help you with that. There was another question about Vitex. I saw. It slipped me. Any other questions about Vitex? And so with these liquid extracts, I absolutely love liquid extracts. Let's see, I don't have a cup of water here. Best herbs for an ovulation system, taking fertility greens and multivitamins. Best herbs for an ovulation. Just scheduled for blood test. Okay. So best herbs for an ovulation. So I could just shoot out a couple herbs at you. You know, there's a little handful. I'll fix my makeup. A little handful of things that I could kind of shoot out at you. But there's also questions that would be helpful to ask, because when you're looking at, okay, I'm not ovulating, the next question we need to ask is why, not what do I take right now to force ovulation. There's going to be a couple of different things to look at. There's different reasons someone might not be ovulating. It's not always the same reason or one reason. So one of the gifts of a fertility journey, and this can be hard to see while you're in it, or while it might be a struggle, is how much you learn about your body, how much opportunity you get to empower yourself and to have an effect on your own health. So when we're looking at lack of ovulation, there can be dietary factors such as low iron. There can be dietary factors such as poor diet, you're not eating enough essential fatty acids, low weight, overweight. So that would be some dietary factors. There can also be age factors. When you begin going into menopause, you will stop ovulating. There can be hormonal factors. There might be excess estrogen. There might be low progesterone. There might be, your cycle might not be completing because there might be cysts. So there's a lot of different reasons that someone may not ovulate. So I can't just tell you, oh, take Vitex. It's the miracle herb. It's going to do everything for you. There needs to be an inquiry as to why, because that's your body talking to you. And I know sometimes it's like you might be rolling your eyes right now, like, Heather, can you just tell me an herb? But I invite you to take the opportunity to look deeper and see what's going on and why you might not be ovulating. And if you know why you're not ovulating, then that is going to be way easier to pinpoint, and you'll be much more successful in doing that. So for instance, if it's from low progesterone and you know that, one, how do you know that? Two, did you do testing? Is your temperatures low? So you can kind of look at why that would be. So if that's part of the case, then Vitex would be fantastic. Possibly progesterone cream, depending on what's going on. So it's not black and white is my big point, but we are here to help you. You can contact us at naturalfertilityshop.com. You can do help@naturalfertilityshop.com, or you can go to naturalfertilityshop.com and click on contact us. And we can ask you these personal questions because they're really hard on Periscope to dig down to find out, and we can help you get the information and the products that you need. I'm currently taking Vitex and natural progesterone. And Honey, please repost that. It went too fast. I really do want to see that. So we can ask those questions if you don't know the specifics. We are so excited to help you. Liz, I believe, is on right now. Oh, shoot. Can you repost that? I talked to you, logged it to... Okay. Vitex, when should I start and stop? Read it. Reddit can cause miscarriage when stopped after conception. Can cause miscarriage stopped after conception. Do you have a list of tests on it? Okay, so you heard that if you are taking Vitex and you get pregnant and you stop, then it can cause a miscarriage. Is that your question? And you're concerned when you get pregnant, what happens when you stop taking Vitex because it's helping to support your progesterone levels. Got it. Okay. So we have a great protocol that you can find on naturalfertilityinfo.com about Vitex and how to kind of wean off of it once you become pregnant. It's always best though, once you're pregnant and you're using herbs to work with a herbal practitioner. We do consultations. You can find someone near you. It does not have to be us. But there is a protocol for helping to slowly wean off of it because of that factor. Another option that some people do or that you can look into is using progesterone cream. But can you please repost that in just 1 second? London fella, please repost that. Just 1 second. But so if you do have low progesterone levels and you become pregnant, you want to make sure your progesterone levels are adequate. So it's not just a factor of, oh, okay, how do I come off Vitex? It's, are your progesterone levels fine now? It's not just, you don't need them to just be fine to ovulate and get pregnant. You need them to be fine, especially into the pregnancy. So getting tested and if you're working with a midwife or a doctor, whoever it is, for your pregnancy, finding someone who's going to be supportive and giving you those tests so you can make sure your numbers are where they need to be. It's super simple test. It's a blood test. And because your levels are needing to increase so much during pregnancy, you want to make sure those levels are well and are where they need to be. Currently taking Vitex natural progesterone and juicing for an ovulation PCOS and edemosis. Vitex progesterone and juicing. That is a lot of stuff for me to think about right now and answer you. Please, please, please email us because there's, I have a handful of questions that I would need to ask. So please contact us about that one. Someone is asking about a Q&A for, I believe, Black Fallopian tubes. Yes, if you have a question right now, I'm doing a Q&A. This is Q&A time. So I hope that helped to answer your question. Kind of long-winded today, but it's just, it's the truth. I could easily say, here, just take this. But there's much more to it, and that's how you get success. That's how you get the results, is looking at all those factors. It's not just going to be a pill. Yes, a pill is probably going to be a part of it. Was told your progesterone normal, but estrogen is slightly high. Do you need to use progesterone cream? Not necessarily. I know, 80. Email us. I hear you. And what we do is we focus on one, then go to the next, and go to the next. We break it down. Our team is very experienced in working with multiple layers. Is progesterone cream very safe? So, progesterone cream. So the thing with progesterone cream is it's not my first place to go to. Progesterone cream is amazing. And I love that we have, oh, don't cry. Send her hugs, guys. Do not cry. Do not cry. Just keep moving forward. What is the next step that you need to take? What's the next thing that we need to do? And we're all going to help support you with that. Just focus on the one next thing you need to do. And that might be to cry. I hear you. Progesterone cream. Okay, so progesterone cream. Not my first go-to. It is really amazing product though, and it's something that's really helpful for increasing progesterone, but you want to see why you have low progesterone. Testing levels for progesterone could take after pretend to prevent miscarriage. You can take it as soon as you are pregnant. Oh, you guys are so supportive. That's awesome. Yeah, so once you're pregnant, you can get your progesterone levels tested before pregnancy if you know it's something that's going on. As soon as you find out you're pregnant, go in and get your levels tested, and they can help you right away. So drink Vitex is negative. I don't know what that means. Let me know. So I don't know what so drink Vitex is negative. Hugs, I cried yesterday. Oh, I know. We have moments, right? Everybody has moments. Oh, you guys are so awesome. So back to progesterone cream, it's something that we use. It's not our go-to. So if it's going to be because of a hormonal imbalance, we want to address that and not just use progesterone cream. Can light period flow be caused by lack of protein? Possibly. Generally, light flow, I would also look at not just lack of protein. I would look at kind of overall vitality and protein, carbohydrates, eating nutrient-dense diet. It's kind of an overall depletion, not just protein. Aw, you feeling the virtual hugs, 80? Yeah, everyone I heard around here is awesome. Yeah, if you ever need a virtual hug, come on a Periscope. You guys are great. So with light period, a couple different factors. I would look at nutrition, levels tested during pregnancy, which probably had led to few miscarriages. Only one new kid's family. We all had the same problem. Yep, yeah. We've all either been there or we're there right now. Oh, you guys are awesome. I totally forgot what I was talking about. We can move on from whatever I was trying to talk about. You guys are much better. You have more things to say than I do. So you guys have any other questions today? Lots of ovulation questions. That probably is such a common thing. Actually, I know it is. All right, guys. All right, so if you have any other questions, it can be anything fertility related. Shoot, I totally forgot what I was saying before. Oh, well. Oh, I think it was about light periods. What's the average time it takes for Vitex to start working? And what's the length of, how long is normal ovulation? Okay. General nutrition for light flow would be a good start. Reducing stress in your life and making sure you have enough nutrients to build up your system. Another thing would be doing more research on Dankoi. We have a lot of research on our, oh my God, you guys have so many awesome questions. Please post them again. I want to answer them. Doing nutrient-dense type things. Maca is a nutrient-dense step. Royal jelly is a nutrient-dense step. Fertility smoothies. And seeing how that goes for you. Increasing progesterone, making sure you have enough iron, and see what happens to your cycle. And then, after doing that for a period of time, then we can kind of look at the next step. But I would make sure that you're nourished enough and that there's enough circulation going to your reproductive system. So circulation, nutrient-dense diet. Yeah. All right, who's next? Everyone said everything at once. I should take a screenshot of questions. How do you go about guiding for fertility consultation? Test, diagnostic, herbs, etc. So our fertility consultation starts with a very long, some people complain about it, but we need all the questions answered, a very long personal health history of your cycle, color of blood, things you've taken, past stuff that's happened to you, all kinds of stuff, a very in-depth consultation. Then the herbalist looks at the consultation and will put together a 3-month protocol for you. 3-month protocol includes nutrition, herbs, supplements, mind body therapies, whatever is needed. And then there is a guide that is recorded audibly, an audio recorded guide that tells you step by step everything you need to do and explains everything for you. It's amazing. And for what we charge, it's ridiculous. We should charge like at least $300 for it. So it's amazing. So you send in all your information, and the turnaround time, I believe, is 5 days at this point. But we get pretty booked out with them, so plan accordingly. How long does Vitex take to start working? I generally say 3 months. People start seeing a difference within a couple of weeks, but to get that actual shift that's going to occur with ovulation, that's going to occur with hormonal shifts, I say 3 months. If you're trying to get a period back, you've been on birth control, it's going to take a while, possibly. So I always say at least 3 months, because when a hormone is kind of in its cycle for that period of the month, it's a really short amount of time. So it's taking these little shifts every time it, gets its opportunity to shine. That's a really simplistic way to explain it, but it takes a little bit of time because, this hormone has to release, luteinizing hormone has to release, and then progesterone has to release, and then it has to decrease, and then this happens. So it's going to take a little bit of time for those shifts to happen. So at least 3 months, but some people start seeing a difference in like acne, PMS, cramps, things like that a lot sooner. So it depends on what you're looking for from Vitex. But Vitex can be used safely for long periods of time. How long is ovulation? Mine happens day 12, 13, 14. Is this normal? Each day there is mucus. So you're, Savory Girl, you're saying you have 3 days. It seems like a 3-day range of ovulation because of your cervical mucus. Are you temperature charting as well? Are you charting? You are charting. Okay. When do you see the dip? How much is a consultation? I believe, sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head. Let me check it out for you. Liz, are you on? She could tell us. I'll tell you in a second. It's coming up. $95. $95. For a preliminary consultation with an RE, just to talk with them before they even do any testing, is around, generally where you live, it's going to be about $300, $350 just to have, which I'm not saying not to do. Because there's more knowledge and more support and coaches, the better. Yes. You are welcome. How are you doing, Nasdar? You are here every day. I'm so happy to always see you. But you should change your egg picture into an actual picture of you. 3 days of ovulation, is that normal? Could you get pregnant this time? So my question for you was, what day do you see that dip? So if you're fertility charting, you're charting along and all of a sudden there's a drop. Like it just like, whoa, off the chart and then it comes back up. What day is that? Because cervical mucus will show up longer. So that's why I ask you the dip in temperature, because that dip, oh, you're not fertility charting. Okay. It's hard to know exactly what day unless you're fertility charting or you're using FSA, OPK, FSH, I guess that's what it is, OPK tests. Because you will have that span of time. You'll have cervical mucus longer than you're ovulating because your cervical mucus is going to come before ovulation because it wants to catch that sperm and help it up to the egg for when the egg pops. But you're also going to have it a little bit afterwards because it's going to want to help to hurry the sperm to the egg because the egg is already on its way. So cervical mucus will appear much longer than your actual ovulation period. Ovulation happens once. If you're doing OPK testing and you get a positive, it's generally 24 hours after that positive, and then you ovulate. So the egg pops out, and then there's it starts. I will put one picture. Good. And then it'll start traveling. So cervical mucus is going to help make sure that the sperm is on its way, transported on time to where it needs to go. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like this. Excellent. So to know the exact time, please fertility chart. I know you don't have to do it like all the time, but do it for at least a month, a cycle or two, because you'll know exactly when you ovulated. The only negative with fertility charting is you'll know after. But for next month, if your cycle is pretty regular, you'll know. And it's so important to know when you're ovulating because there was a study done that asked couples who were going in for fertility treatments if they knew when they were ovulating, if they had already found that out. Because that's something that's very accessible for everybody. Really inexpensive. You can get the thermometer at the pharmacy for like, I don't know, $7 or something. Oh, good. Good, Sarah. Yay. Please continue to let us know how you're doing and what you end up doing and deciding to do. So with fertility charting, super cheap to do. And what they found out is that couples were assuming, you guys are way more educated, definitely, than I think a lot of the people maybe in the study because you guys know about fertility charting, you know about your cervical mucus and things. But they were stating when they thought they were ovulating, and I believe it was over 80%. Sorry, I don't know the exact number right now. I think it was over 80% did not know. They thought they knew for sure, but then when they were getting tested, they actually were off enough that pregnancy wasn't going to be happening because of timing. So my whole point to that story is that's power, knowing exactly when you ovulate. My keys for that would be if you don't wake up the same time every day, you don't want to, yes, you can ovulate without a period. You don't want to temperature chart and it's too much work. Get a Clear Blue Easy monitor. It is, I think $90, $100. I have one son, pregnant right away with him, but I've developed PCOS somehow. Difficult journey. PCOS is very, very common, but there's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of people get pregnant despite PCOS, definitely. So you use OPK testing, which is going to be the little strips that you pee on. Those are kind of aggravating because the line has to be just as dark as the test line, but is that line dark enough? You're kind of getting all obsessed about these strip tests. Some people are really good at them. They drive me crazy. Clear Blood Easy is kind of like an OPK test, but you put it into a machine and it tells you what's going on. And then you can also just fertility chart and use the thermometer. Can herbs have adverse effects? You know, it's very rare for herbs to have adverse effects, but it's not, you can't just say, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, digital OPK, there you go. Yeah, you get a smiley face, right? Or frowning face, or, you know, they tell, it's black and white with that. So adverse effects of fertility herbs. It's very rare, especially with the herbs that we're using. There are thousands of herbs. There's herbs from India, there's herbs from China, there's herbs from the United States. I mean, everywhere. South America, everywhere has herbs. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift that we have here on this planet. Adverse effects can be very rare when you're using whole herbs and you're using them properly. So with the herbs that we're using herbs that are very gentle, that are very safe, and that are very supportive, because we're the way that my company approaches herbalism is we are supporting the systems of the body to function better, so the body is able to be fertile and to function at its best, to ovulate, all these things we need it to do. We're supporting it. We're supporting those actions, and we're also looking at nutrition and these other things. There are obviously ways to use herbs that can be dangerous. You can use herbs too much. You can use, I'm not huge into standardized herbs because that's taking one chemical compound from the herb and concentrating it, and then people are taking that. While that can be effective, there is a reason there is like thousands of compounds in one herb. There is a reason that we need all those compounds for that herb to work properly, for it to work safely, and to have its full effect. So once standardized extract or standardization comes in, I'm not 100% against it, but I don't like to go there because it's starting to move towards more of a pharmaceutical. It's starting to move towards more of a manipulator instead of a supportive action, instead of a supportive herb. So some things that you do need to be cautious about when you're using herbs is if you're on MAO inhibitor, MOA inhibitors, antidepressants, blood thinners. Those are some of the things to be concerned about because herbs do affect your blood. They help to thin your blood. That's some of the benefits. Not all of them do that, but some herbs can do that. Like cayenne, for instance, can help that. Dong Quai, if you're taking blood thinners, you wouldn't want to do Dong Quai. Dong Quai helps to thin and make the blood move and build the blood. But back in the day, that is something, if they didn't have curcumin, what did they take for blood thinning? I forgot what it's called. I totally forgot what it's called. They would use Dong Quai, or they would use a formula that contained Dong Quai in it. So it's just being smart with the herbs, and just because something's natural doesn't automatically make it safe, but it makes it a whole lot safer, in my opinion, than something that's concentrated to, and that's forcing a specific action on the body, but not taking care of any of the repercussions that are happening in the body because of the actions that are being forced from a pharmaceutical. Pharmaceuticals are blessings. They're amazing, but they're not the first place to go, and they're not where to go to help nourish and support the system. Regardless of a route, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a soapbox now. Regardless of what route someone's going, you want to be healthy and nourished for your pregnancy. Like if you're going for IVF, no problem. Just be healthy and prepared before you go for that cycle. Herbs taken under guidance is best. You know, that's... Yes, possibly, but herbs taken under education and empowerment is best. You know, some herbalists are, I don't know much about homeopathy. I'm sorry, work with a homeopathist for that. That's like a whole huge segment of herbal medicine that I don't know much about. So herbs under guidance, yes. If you're working with a practitioner, that is obviously the best. You should have a coach in every area of your life that you want to succeed. You should have someone in your corner that has been there or knows everything that they can help you with, that's in your corner for any area of your life, whether it's personal trainer, fertility herbalist, spiritual guide, someone teaching about diet, etc. Have someone in your corner. But one thing that herbs give you access to and natural health gives you access to is educating yourself and empowering yourself, because these are things that everybody has access to and everybody can use to help and better themselves. Some people can't access a herbal practitioner in the area. That's why we have our company online, because we're working with people all over the world. We do not care where you are from. We are here to help you. Because how many people have a fertility specialist in their area unless they live in a major city? So anyways, especially even a natural one. I have PCOS and can't use OPK anymore due to false negatives because of hormone balance. Frustrating, right? You're welcome. So yes, under herbal guidance, but in that process, educate and empower yourself, learn what you can do for yourself. That's why I think herbs are so amazing, is because they're a gift for everybody. They're not for the few who's going to hand them out and you must come through the gate and I can tell you what to take type of a thing. It's like, I want to help educate you guys so that you can learn, feel in your intuition, and then make choices. It's so much more. Like, the fertility journey can be so frustrating because everyone around you might be just getting pregnant without even thinking about it. They might, like someone said the other day, she's pregnant and she smokes, you know, like, and I'm doing all this stuff and it's, why is it hard for me? Yeah. So find people to get in, you know, that are in your corner to help support you. But I think access and education is empowerment, is everything. And that's one of the gifts of the fertility journey. That's where I was going with that. I'm on a tangent today. That's one of the gifts of a fertility journey is, yes, that's hard. You're going to get to your goal. It might look different than the way you ever planned you getting there. But in the meantime, on that journey, you are empowered. You are learning so much. You're getting your body ready and you're getting healthier. And that is such a good place to be for pregnancy. All right, I'm done. Wow, that triggered something in me. Yeah, I'm going to start crying now. That is what I'm passionate about. If you guys couldn't notice, that is what I'm all about. You know, when we talk with our team, when we're at team meetings, it's like we're education, empowerment, and support. That is our company, everything, for internal and external. It takes a lot of time to find one, not the one we know here. That was good. Thanks. It does. And you can be you, and it doesn't have to be someone in person. It can be online. Some of my most amazing teachers, like, I study all kinds of things. I study herbalism, I study business, I study personal development. Some of my best teachers don't even know I exist because they're my teacher through a book. Some of my best teachers are my teachers through Periscope, and they don't even know I exist. They don't even know I'm their #1 student. It doesn't have to be someone in person. It doesn't have to be someone you pay money to. Just find the person who knows the most in the area that you need support in and you vibe with and that you can trust and that has great results. They're not just marketing. And there you go. You know, like, I'm trying to get coaches in every part of my life because I see such a huge difference. Yeah, like, that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys. Molly Nicholas is fantastic fertility. Ladies, check her out. Heather, I think you know her. I don't know if I know Molly. I'll have to check her out. So exactly. So, all right, guys, I have to get to work. I took Vitex once and broke out in rashes as soon as I stopped the rashes. You know, once in a while, people are allergic to herbs. Just like foods. Some people are allergic to tomatoes. I'm allergic to eggplant. Makes my whole entire mouth and throat itch. Sometimes it's pretty rare, but sometimes people are allergic to herbs. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you again soon. Do something nice for yourself. Say something nice to someone else today. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.